I'm Lauren and welcome to Easy Karaoke, How to Sing Like a Star, lesson number 9. Now, in this lesson, we're going to talk about lyrics, very important part of a song, and also where you breathe in between the words. Where in the sentence do you breathe, especially if it's a song which has lots of words and it's quite fast-paced with lots and lots of notes going on. For example, a Beyonce song, and I'm sure that you would all love to sing Beyonce songs, right? So to start with, we're going to do some simple exercises to get our jaws and our mouths working and work on our diction and articulation, okay? Now, the simplest way to practice something which is complicated and fast, whether it be lyrics or whether it be notes, is to break it down and do it really slowly. Exaggerate all the mouth movements that you have to make for the words and just gradually speed it up until you get to the right speed for the song and you've nailed it. It's that easy. So I'm going to give you some tongue twisters. We call them tongue twisters because they get your tongue all in a twist. They can be quite hard to say once you speed them up. So here's one you might already know. It's called Betty Bought a Bit of Butter. Now what I want you to do is repeat each line after me, one line at a time. And when you say it, exaggerate your mouth movements, big mouth and lots of dictions, lots of T's and D's and B's, okay? So after me. Betty bought a bit of butter. All right, your go. Brilliant. Next line. But the bit of butter was bitter. Your turn. Okay, now for the next line. So Betty bought a better bit of butter. Your turn. Brilliant. Last line. To better the bit of bitter butter. Okay, your turn. Okay, brilliant. Now I'm going to say the whole thing in one go. Ready? If you can say it along with me, please do. Betty bought a bit of butter, but the bit of butter was bitter. So Betty bought a better bit of butter to better the bit of bitter butter. Okay, if you managed to do that, then that was a really, really good job. Well done. We're going to do it again, and we're going to put it on repeat, and each time we're going to get faster. And let's see how quickly you can say it without making any mistakes. Are you ready? After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Betty bought a bit of butter, but the bit of butter was bitter. So Betty bought a better bit of butter to better the bit of bitter butter. Betty bought a bit of butter, but the bit of butter was bitter. So Betty bought a better bit of butter to better the bit of bitter butter. Betty bought a bit of butter, but the bit of butter was bitter. So Betty bought a better bit of butter to better the bit of bitter butter. One more time, really, really fast. Ready? Betty bought a bit of butter, but the bit of butter was bitter. So Betty bought a better bit of butter to better the bit of bitter butter. Hey, if you manage that, then you definitely are a superstar in the making. Now, what we're going to do is figure out, where do we breathe? There's a lot of words here, and it's fast. Where do we breathe? Let's think about it. If you saw this written down on a piece of paper, you would have sentences and you would have comma after each sentence. So if you imagine, where would the commas go? That's where you can breathe. For example, I'll exaggerate my breathing to show you. Betty bought a bit of butter, but the bit of butter was bitter. So Betty bought a better bit of butter to better the bit of bitter butter. You see, after each sentence you can take a breath. Now when it's very, very fast, you just have to take a very, very quick breath and you have to take in as much air as possible in as short a space of time as possible, like this. Betty bought a bit of butter, but the bit of butter was bitter. So Betty bought a better bit of butter to better the bit of bitter butter. Whew! I hope you managed it there. It was quite hard going, wasn't it? Anyway, what we're going to do now is take a Beyonce song. It's called Crazy in Love. It's a wicked tune. It's got a lot of lyrics. So first, we're going to go through the lyrics, as we did before with the tongue twister. If I say a line, then you repeat it with big mouth movements and exaggerate everything, okay? You ready? Here we go. I look and stare so deep in your eyes. Your turn. I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try and explain. How I'm feeling, and my pride is the one to blame. But I know I don't understand just how your love can do what no one else can. Brilliant, sorted. That's the verse, and I'm sure you know the chorus. Got me looking so crazy right now, okay? So we're going to have a go at singing this with the music, starting with the verse and carrying on through to the chorus for those of you who know it. Here we go. Remember the opening lyrics? I look and stare. I look and stare so deep in your eyes. I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try and explain. How I'm feeling and my pride is the one to blame. Yeah. Cause I know I don't understand just how your love can do what no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch has got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you paid me right now. Your kisses got me hoping you saved me right now. Looking so crazy in love. You got me looking so crazy in love. Good job, guys. You're really pulling it all together. And I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson, lesson number 10. Bye for now.
Pick up the mic and get